They will be here by class 1, so when you meet your small group leader, you will get that book, okay? We still are using the Catechism for Adults, but that's really for you guys as a reference, parents. That's for a deep dive into the topic that we're covering. You can read a section in the Catechism for Adults. It's a very readable book to give you more depth to your conversations. Year 2, your small group leader is most likely the same leader that you had last year, unless, I think we only have one that's not returning. So that group will have a new one. Year 1, we will do our best to have you assigned to a small group on that first sanctuary lesson. You will get an email and a text explaining which group you're in, okay? All right, the family lessons are the third component to our program. The family lessons are done at home on opposite weeks. Okay, you're going to flip. You're going to start with a sanctuary lesson, then you're going to do a family lesson, then you're going to do a sanctuary lesson. You're just going to go back and forth. The family lessons are done at home. We in the past, year 2, this is a change. In the past, we emailed you the lesson. We're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to post it on our resource page on the website, and we will get to that explanation in a minute. Okay, so also on that left-hand side, you can put the overview away. Does anyone have questions about the overview? Okay. Somewhere on that left-hand side is, and I left it on my desk, it's a curriculum overview document. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. It looks like this. It's got lots of boxes on it. Okay? This is for your information only. You don't have to really, you can look at it. Some parents like to know what we're covering prior to coming. Okay? That's why we created that. You don't have to worry about it much, but that's mostly just information. Okay? Everything else on the left-hand side is for your information. Please take it home and read it. Okay? 95% of your questions will be answered by reading the left-hand side documents. Okay? All right, now let's flip over to the right-hand side. Okay, on the front is a to-do list, a parent to-do list. Okay, number one thing is to make sure mail@flocknote.com is added to your contacts list. You might be really sick of hearing this. We've tried to really get that point across. Flocknote is our technology system that we use to communicate with you. Okay, it sends texts and emails to groups of people. It is our lifeline to you, okay? It only works if you make sure that you are receiving the text messages and the emails. Text messages are pretty easy. They go through usually very well. And that's easy to fix. If you're not getting it, it's because we've screwed up on your phone number somehow, okay? The emails, on the other hand, you could get them for a month or two, and then you won't anymore because the email companies changed something, and then Flocknote has to change something. They try hard to keep up with everything, but sometimes something gets messed up in the system. If you discover that you're not receiving the emails, and a few of you have reached out to me, and that's fantastic. I will try to get to it this week. If ever you realize that you're not receiving stuff, reach out to me, and we will fix it. We will find a way to figure it out and fix it. Once we start, just before September 10th, you're going to hear from me just about every week. And so, one way or another, whether it's an email or a text. And so if a week goes by and you're like, I haven't heard anything about confirmation, wonder what's going on. Do a search on mail@flocknote.com to see if you can find stuff. Just shoot me a quick email and say, hey, or actually in that case, please call me. Because emails get buried, especially when I'm gone for a period of time, they get buried. So just give me a quick call and say, hey, just check in to make sure I'm getting everything. I'm more than happy to help with that. So that first page behind your checklist talks about Flocknote. Okay, the next thing on your checklist is Formed. Formed is a, what did I call it? I don't remember. It is a platform, streaming platform for Catholic content. The parish has paid to have a subscription for all of us. Everyone in this parish can have a free subscription. You need to get signed up and you need to know how to use it because we're going to access videos, on Formed in our program, okay? Particularly your family lessons. That's where a lot of your family lessons are going to come from. Okay, so today, please go home. Please figure out how you're going to use it. Are you going to use it on your TV? Are you going to use it on your phone, a computer, whatever? Figure out what you're going to do and have it ready, okay? The next sheet of paper on your right-hand side is the confirmation calendar. This is in short form. Please add these dates to your personal calendar so that you don't miss anything. I want you to pay special attention to January. January, we flip, as in you're going to end with a family lesson in December. You're going to start January with a family lesson. We don't alternate. We had to do that for a reason, so pay special attention to that. Normally we would alternate, but you're going to actually have 2 back-to-back family lessons. Okay. Let's see. Your next to-do is to set a time and day to complete family lessons. You don't actually have to do a family lesson on Sunday. It might work best for your family, but it might not. I don't know, especially when winter comes and you all want to go skiing, maybe Monday night will be better for you. Also, find a place in your home where you're going to keep all of your confirmation materials. Make sure everyone knows. If your student wants to go get something and do something on their own, they can, but put it back. So when you come here for sanctuary lessons, bring that backpack. When you are at home and need to do a family lesson, it's all right there, okay? All right, then, this is the fun stuff. Oh, nope, sorry. The next page is what do we do when we miss a sanctuary lesson? It's going to happen. We understand that. You are going to travel. People are going to get sick. I mentioned earlier that the family lessons will be on our resource page on our website. That's what this sheet is all about. If you miss a sanctuary lesson, we know it because you weren't checked in as being there, and so we send home a makeup lesson. We make a makeup lesson. We put those, we're going to now put them on our website, our resource page. Last year we did both. We emailed them and we put them on the resource page. Guess what? That's duplicate effort on our part. We're not going to do that this year. We're just going to put it on the resource page, so bookmark it. Go find it, make sure you can access it. It is password protected. It's an easy password. Your 2 people, you just change the year to 2023. Okay, Come Holy Spirit 2023. That's the password. But that's a place you're going to want to know how to get to, and you're going to go there regularly. For any makeup lessons, now we want you here for sanctuary lessons. They're worth it, they're fun, but if you can't be here, you're going to get the makeup lesson there. The family lessons, how do we know that you've completed them? Part of the lesson is an online questionnaire that you and your student will complete. Okay, so completing that questionnaire is how we know you've done the family lesson. Okay? All right, so now, this is the fun stuff. Oh, that's where. Whenever you get confirmed, you need a sponsor. Okay? In the past, we've waited to year 2 to have students pick those out. Why we did that is a really good question. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So this year, all students this year, and then next year going forward, it'll be year 1, need to pick out the confirmation sponsor now. Okay, so this is the sponsor certificate. You should fill out the top, for your student can too, but that's the student information. And then the bottom, this actually needs to be given hard copy to the sponsor. They take it to their parish, and the rest of it is filled out. okay? And their parish priest needs to, or a representative of the parish needs to sign it. Excuse me. This is due November 5th. We want this done November 5th. Why do we want this done? Because it makes sense to have, thank you so much, your sponsors journey with you. At some point, we're going to have you talk to them about different things. So we want you to have that person and know who it is soon. The next, and this is a change, the next to do, parents, is to help, first of all, help your students find that sponsor. If you can, okay, don't feel bad. It's happening all the time now. If you don't have a family member that is Catholic, my family does not. We're Catholic, but everyone outside is not. It's okay, just let us know. We'll help you find someone, okay? But think about teachers, think about aunts, uncles, friends, neighbors. Maybe you're active in things here. Maybe there's another adult in the parish that can be a sponsor. The next thing is the patron saint selection. It's another kind of a traditional thing that we do during confirmation. We pick out a saint that means something to us, okay? Parents, help your students research different saints. And then on the back is a questionnaire that they're going to fill out. They're no longer writing a letter to Father Tilly about their saints, okay? We decided that really isn't necessary, but we do want them researching and telling us about the saint, particularly why did they choose them. But that worksheet is there. It is due November 5th for all students, not just year 1. I mean, year 2. Again, why wait till the last year? Our patron saint should be someone that we turn to on a regular basis. We look to for guidance. We look to as a role model, and let's start that right away. The last paper on that side is specifically for year 2. This is the confirmation request letter, okay? This is due at the beginning of the year also, December 10th, sorry, the first half of the year. Normally we assign it at the end of the first half and then it's due a couple months later. No, why? They're going on this really awesome retreat. The retreat is focused on who Jesus is to them and why are they getting confirmed. So this is actually something to do right away because it might be fresh in their mind right now. So this letter, this document explains what the letter should look like. It is a handwritten letter. I know that is an art form that is lost now, so it might take a little extra time for your student to write it out, but when you write something, you think about it a whole lot more and a whole lot deeper than when you're typing it. Unless you're an author, that's a different story. Okay? So it talks about how to go about writing this letter. It needs to be written to Father Tilly, and it can be handed in to their small group leader or myself, and then Father Tilly will handwrite a letter back to the students. And those are really special letters. Okay, so any questions about any of that? Yes, ma'am. December 10th. Yep. That's just for year 2. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
In regards to sponsors, when you talk to them, how can we see that they're busy, obviously? Do you have to come to the lesson?
Good question. No, the sponsors do not need to be present. We do live stream and record all of our sanctuary lessons. That's what the makeup lesson is based on. If you want to share that with the sponsors, that's a fantastic idea because you do want your sponsors aware of what the journey is like for your students, but it's not required, okay? We will at some point ask for maybe a couple of conversations with their sponsors, but don't rely on us, okay? Develop parents. I want to remind you, if your students are going to stay Catholic, it's really on you, okay? To a large degree. It's not definitive, but it's on a large degree. Help foster that relationship. Our students need to see us living our faith, but they also need to see other adults living the Catholic faith. And so get them involved with having conversations with their sponsor. But the sponsor does not have to come to these lessons. Yes? No worries. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yep, and if you have 2 kids in the program, unless they're vastly different ages, like if you have an 11th grader and a 7th grader, we will probably split them in the small groups. We'll put the 11th grader with other 11th graders because 11th grade and 7th grade, not always a good mix. And then the parents will stay with the 7th grader, the 11th or 12th grader. They can be on their own. Yes, there was a question. Yes, absolutely. Sponsors can be godparents. Just can't be parents. And the list is on the sponsor certificate. The requirements that a sponsor has to fulfill is listed there. Any other questions? Yes. Oh, great. Yes, we should. Yep. Okay, send me an email and I can double check. But yes, if we got one from last year, we put it in their folder and we should have it. Hopefully we have it. We tried really hard to keep organized so that we get those things and keep those things. Any other questions? Okay, I have just one more thing to cover. Okay, due to the challenging summer that I had and am still having, I don't yet have all of my small group leaders I need for confirmation. So I am looking for 5 volunteers to help out with the small groups. This is what that looks like. When you come, well, first of all, small group leaders will get emails from me that tell them what's going to happen when we have a sanctuary lesson, okay? So you're not surprised when you come in for sanctuary lessons. We try as much as possible to do small group activities. So you're going to lead the small group activity for the students and the parents. When you would get here, you would walk over to that back corner and you would grab your bin that has your small group on it and your name on it. You would then find where you need to sit. That's going to move around. Your small group will sit with you. You will take attendance. You will hand out name tags. You don't have to do all that because you can get volunteers in your small group to help you with that. But you're there to be a smiling face, to greet them, to ask them how their week was, to have a conversation and create community with that small group. Then there's going to be a lesson. Sometimes we do the small group activity first. Most of the time we do the lesson first, and then there's the small group. And you're already going to know what that small group activity is because it's in the email. It's never anything you have to prepare ahead of time for. Well, I shouldn't say that, never, but most of the time it's not. For example, the first activity will be the small group leaders will share with the students what their patron saint is, or if you never picked one out, just a saint who's important to you. So you will be sharing that. So you will probably want to think about it a little bit beforehand. But you'll do the small group you'll do the activity with your small group, and then when the class is over, you'll grab everyone's name tags and you will say, have a blessed week. It's not that taxing, it's not that hard, there is no prep work ahead of time, generally speaking, for you. All of the materials are provided in your bin. I need 5 people to help us, primarily for year 1. It's okay, you can be a year 2 person and a parent and take on a year 1 group, that is fine. But I am looking for 5 volunteers. A couple of those people will be subs. It just depends on how many students we get. So I shouldn't say that. We're shooting for 5 because we don't want the small groups to be large. We want them manageable, about 10 to 12 students per group. Anyway, that's the role of a small group leader. If you are willing, please come see me now. If you need to go home and pray about it, please email me later today. I do want to say that I do have to leave this week, so if I don't get back to you and give you a lot of information this week, I am back next week and full force again, hopefully, and just be patient with me this week. It's still rough. And anyway, that's all I have. Thank you so very much. We are so grateful you are all here, and we look forward to this year. Have a blessed day, and enjoy the afternoon without those year 2 students.
Yeah.